Hi, welcome back to the series of videos on Ind AS, that is Ind AS with Accountsman. In today's lecture, we will be discussing Ind AS 20, that is accounting for government grants and government assistance. Ind AS 20, and this talks about accounting for government grant and government assistance. Yeah. The word government grant is a familiar word. We have read this in our accounting standard 12 as well. But government assistance is a new term that's been introduced to us in Ind AS. So as we did in quite a lot of other standards that we discussed till now, and as we're going to discuss in the upcoming standards, we are going to start with our questions what, when, why and how to understand the scope, recognition, measurement, disclosure and everything regarding the standard. So let us start with the first question, what? Yeah, what exactly do you mean by this? So we have to discuss 2 points here. First one, government grant, and the next one, government assistance. Going by the order of the items that I have written, I would have to first discuss government grant and then discuss government assistance. But let me tell you an important point here, which is government grant is a part of government assistance, meaning a type of government assistance is government grant, and there can be another type of government assistance which is not a government grant. So I cannot discuss government grant without helping you understand what exactly do you mean by government assistance. So my first point for discussion right now will be government assistance. Government assistance. Government assistance is action by the government to give economic benefit. All right, what is it? It is action by government to give economic benefit. Now, whenever the government wants to give this economic benefit, that is by giving help or stretching their hands, it can be to different categories of people. So, what categories of people? 3. I'll basically classify it into 3. The first one is a specific entity. Yeah, specific entity. Like assume that you are a company who's going to generate renewable sources of energy, solar power or something. So they are going to give you some specific grant. So that is specific entity. Or they're going to give a specific grant to all the group of entities which are generating power. That is also possible. What is a group of entities? Entire power sector or entire distribution of power sector, or all those companies which are based on agrochemicals or something, or pharmaceutical in the present case. So any of such companies. The next one, public at large. Public at large is the development of facility for everyone. Maybe they construct one highway or a bridge or any other infrastructure development which is going to serve everyone in general. You get that? That one. So what we need to note is, with regard to our specific entity grant, it is covered under Ind AS 20. So I'll write here Ind AS 20. Group entity, if it is given, again it's covered under Ind AS 20. Whereas if it is for public at large, it is not covered under Ind AS 20. So this is not covered under Ind AS 20. Whereas if it is for a specific entity or a group of entities, it is government assistance which is covered under our Ind AS 20. And before I go to the next word and then start explaining you government grant in detail, another important point that we need to note here is, in the entire definition of government assistance that I used, I told it is action by government to give economic benefit. To whom? It's done. But what exactly do you mean by government? There was the definition of government under Accounting Standard 12. Accounting Standard 12 went on to say that government includes that specific government or government agency or other forms of agencies which included private organizations. To be very clear, something like Infosys Foundation, Azim Premji Foundation or Tata Sons Foundation, if there is anything of that sort, if they extend some facility, that was also termed to be continued or to be recognized as government grant. Whereas Ind AS 20 specifically defines the government in the standard, and I'll tell you the word government is defined like this. Yeah, government includes 3 forms. First one is government itself, next one is government agencies, the third one is similar bodies. Yeah, government will include government as told by the name itself, and it will include government agencies, and lastly include similar bodies. Now when we talk about similar bodies, these similar bodies can be local, it can be national, or it can be international as well. You get that? Now when we say government, what do we mean? When we say government, we mean central government, state government, or if there is any union territory government, that also, that again comes under the state union government always. So that one. When you say government agencies, agencies which are regulated by government. Yeah, and then similar bodies, local similar bodies like municipality, or what do you say, our in the state of Bangalore that we have BBMP, or another Zilla Panchayat, or what do you say, what Panchayat office or something of that sort, municipality. All those covered under similar bodies. And then national, if there is any national similar bodies which are regulated by the government of our India, that is also part of it. And international bodies which comes under our UN or World Bank or anything, Asian Development Bank or something of that sort, such assistance or grant will also be considered as what is a government grant. Now let us see this government grant a little in detail. Sorry, government assistance a little in detail. Government assistance. As I told you, government grant is a part of government assistance. So I'll basically draw two arrow marks here, and on one side I'll write government grant. And the next side will be other government assistance. Now the first and foremost question that will arise among us is, when do we call it government grant? When do we call it other government assistance? Both are government assistance only. You get that? All government grants are government assistance, but not all the government assistance are government grants. Now when is this government grant a government, when is this government assistance a government grant, and when is this government assistance not a government grant? So the answer is pretty simple. We need to check monetary measurement. Monetary measurement. Monetary measurement. I could have written it in the middle, but I prefer not to be lazy. Excuse me. Yeah. If it can be monetarily measured, it is government grant. If it cannot be monetarily measured, it is other government assistance. The accounting will be different, because only if it can be measured in terms of money, it can be accounted. If it is other government assistance which cannot be measured in terms of money, it will only be disclosed. However, we will come back to this point a little later. Now, first things first, we have our present matter of discussion, that is government grant. So, we will discuss government grant first and then come back to government assistance a little later. So, can I start with government grant now? Government grant. Now, what exactly do we mean by government grant? Assume that we have an entity which is here, yeah, and the government is here. Yeah, government will give us certain assistance. So what will government give? Not assistant, assistance. The government will give some assistance, with regard to which what should we be doing? We should do some compliances, and we'd also fulfill some conditions. On fulfillment of these compliances and conditions, government will give us some assistance. Maybe it is like government will tell us, if you can employ 100 people in your organization, I will give you free electricity. Or if we can produce 1 ton or 100 units every month, then I will provide you with 1 free machinery. Or if you're buying some machinery with output of which is going to be exported outside India, then I'm going to give 20% waiver on customs duty on that particular machinery. Something like our export promotion capital goods, EPCG exemption, or certain organizations when they open specific unit in some certain backward classes, it will lead to creation of employment. So government will tell, I will waive off some taxes to you, or I will waive off certain amount of electricity bill to you, or I'll give you land at a very cheap rate, or I'll give you electricity and everything at very lesser rate. Yes, something of this sort. So these benefits is basically called as what? Government grant. Now we need to understand that we are getting assistance from the government because we have been forced to comply for certain points, as well as certain conditions have been laid out. So this is our government grant. Now there are 3 terms that I discussed here. First one, assistance. Yeah, what do you mean by assistance? Assistance should be in the form of resources. Assistance should be in the form of resources. Some resources. It can be monetary, it can be non-monetary, but it should be resources. You get that? They can either give the asset only to us, or they can give the cash to us, or we'll pay the cash and they'll reimburse, or something of that sort. First one is assistance. The next one, when you spoke about compliance, this compliance can either be past or it can be future. In the past we have complied with certain conditions, so the government is giving us some assistance. Maybe in this case of pandemic, we have done some research or to say previously, and we have come out with a medicine, so government is giving us some assistance to manufacture that medicine now. So we already complied with the conditions in the past, so government is basically giving us the grant. Or it can be a case where we've started the research and government is funding us so that we'll come out with the medicine. So that is future. In the future we're going to find out the medicine, so they're giving us the grant. So this complaints can be either past condition, past complaints, or it can be future complaints. You get that? Last one, conditions. All the conditions that the government is going to lay is with regard to operations. Yeah, in all the examples, if you can remember, I told you government will give free electricity, but we need to provide employment to so many people. Or government will give us free asset, but we need to manufacture so many units of products which are supposed to be sold. Or government will, or to say, waive off the custom duty. We need to manufacture the units and then export them. Everything is related to the operations of the organization. So this has to be dependent upon the organization's operations. So this is the definition of government grant. However, if you want me to write it down in terms of sentence, I'll write government grant is assistance from government for, what is it, either it can be past or future compliance. Of conditions relating to what? Operations. Conditions relating to operations. So this is the definition of government grant. As we have discussed what and all is covered in the government grant, now we need to discuss what and all is not covered under the standard, excluded from the standard. That is our Ind AS 20. See, an item is excluded from this standard only when it is specifically covered under a standard. So specific inclusion means, what is a general exclusion. So that's the point. Let us see what are the items that are not covered. First one, tax concessions. Tax concessions like tax holiday or chapter 6A deductions, that entire thing, that section 80, that whatever we have, or section 10 deductions, whatever are there, all these are specifically covered under our Ind AS 12. When they are specifically covered under Ind AS 12, that is income taxes, it is not covered under our, it is specifically covered under Ind AS 12. So as it is specifically covered in Ind AS 12, it is out of the purview of Ind AS 20. It is not a government assistance to be covered under Ind AS 20. It is accounted according to our Ind AS 12 income taxes. And the next point that I am going to discuss with regard to this is agriculture. What we all know is, with regard to agriculture, we have a specific Ind AS 41. So when there is a specific Ind AS, it will not be covered in this particular standard. Example, assume that we are talking with regard to bearer plant. So an item is a bearer plant. If the item is a bearer plant, then what we need to see is Ind AS 16 covers this specific item. It is covered under Ind AS 16. It is not covered under Ind AS 41. When it is not covered under Ind AS 41, it can come under Ind AS 20. Now the question is, why will it come under Ind AS 20? The point is, PPE items against which if the grant is received, it will be covered under this particular thing. So property, plant and equipments against which the grant is received is covered in Ind AS 20. But against agricultural produce, if there is any grant received that is not covered under Ind AS 20, it will go basically in our 41 only. This is only with respect to bearer plant. What would happen if it is not a bearer plant? If the item is not a bearer plant, then it is not covered under Ind AS 16. So it will not be covered under Ind AS 20. What will it be covered under? It will be covered under 41. So if it is a bearer plant against which if there is a grant received, it will become Ind AS 20 as well as 16 is covered. Or if it is related to purely agriculture, then it will be covered under our Ind AS 41 all by itself, in completely and in large. Next item is government participation. Government participation. We usually call it promoter's contribution, or capital contribution also. Multiple names, the meaning is same. Government participation or promoter's contribution or capital contribution. This is where the government contributes to the capital of the organization. This was previously covered under Accounting Standard 12. When Accounting Standard 12 government grant was there, it spoke about this particular part. However, when it comes to Ind AS 20, the corresponding Ind AS 20 is silent about this point. So, there is nothing mentioned regarding this. So, it is excluded from our standard. However, what we need to note is there is guidance note on government grant. So, this guidance note on government grant, whatever issued, is covering this particular part. So, we will do accounting for promoter's contribution as per the guidance note that is issued against government grant and not according to the Ind AS altogether. Yeah, is it part of our examination syllabus? The answer is yes. Is it part of the Ind AS? The answer is no. So where is it covered? It is covered in guidance note. So when we start discussing about recognition of promoter's contribution, I'll definitely teach you, but what is the prime thing that we need to remember here is it is not given in Ind AS as to how to account for promoter's contribution. It is basically given to us in the guidance note to this specific standard. And the last thing that is excluded from this particular part is what is it? Government assistance, or what is government assistance or government grant to public in large. Yeah, if the government develops any facility which will be availed by everyone, like maybe government built a metro, every one of us will use it, or government builds up certain portal like Arogya Sutta app has been built, every one of us will use it. Can I recognize it as my income? No, I should not be recognizing it. So because it's a service which is available to everyone in large, it cannot be recognized specifically as a benefit of my own, and it is excluded from the purview of Ind AS 20. When I talk about Ind AS 20, Ind AS 20 is not applicable to this particular part. So next thing that we're going to discuss is when do we recognize this specific government assistance and government grant. So let us go to the next one. So the next question, when to account, or when do we recognize? Yeah, there are two items that we're discussing about all the while now. The first one is government grant, next one is other government assistance. It will be wrong on my part if I write government grant and government assistance, because when I write the word government assistance, it includes government grant. So we should write government grant and other government assistance. We recognize the government grant on what is a fulfillment of conditions. Now government, whenever it gives us grant, it will place certain conditions, meaning that if you fulfill these conditions, then you can receive the grant. So when there is reasonable probability that we will fulfill those conditions, we will recognize this grant. Second one, there should be reasonable assurance of receipt. Yeah, after we fulfill the conditions, we should inform the government that boss, we have fulfilled the conditions. Then the government should give us money. So how sure are we that government will accept that we fulfill the conditions, and how sure are we that government will release the funds? So that's the point. So these are the two important conditions. So on fulfillment of these two conditions, we basically recognize our government grant. It is not one of them, it is both of them. However, with respect to other government assistance, what we need to note is there is nothing called as what is a recognition. The only thing that we need to do is disclosure. Now government has given me certain thing which cannot be monetarily measured. Government has given me some motivation, or government has given me some push. Government has given me some portal wherein I can show off my thing. Okay, something like some website has been built by the government where I can advertise my services. Yeah, government is doing such promotion. When the government is doing such promotion, that will boost my organization's operations, and I'll start making benefit. I cannot leave it undisclosed to my stakeholders. I cannot tell that it's all because of me I have done it. No, it is because of the government's assistance. So what do? I'll just disclose it as a part of my financial statements in the part of notes to accounts, but I'll not be recognizing it anywhere in my statement of profit or loss or balance sheet. You get that? So with respect to government assistance, means other government assistance, only disclosure will be made. However, with regard to government grant, firstly, when the fulfillment of conditions is there and there is reasonable assurance of receipt, we would have to recognize our government grant. And with regard to this entire standard on recognition, there are two possible models. One is accrual model, other one is cash model. So what do we follow? we always follow accrual. You get that? So what we follow is accrual model, not the cash model, meaning we give importance to receivable and not just receipt. So whenever there is possibility of receipt of money, we'll record that government grant and will not wait for the actual receipt of that government grant. So the next point is, how do we basically account for this government grant? So let us go to the next question. How do we account government grant? I am not talking about other government assistance now. The answer is, if the question is why, the answer is simple. Why? Other government assistance will just be disclosed. It cannot be accounted for in the books of accounts. Come on. So let us go ahead. When we talk about government grant, there are two possible scenarios. Basically, there are two models. One is a reduction from the asset or expense. Then the next one is recognizing it as deferred income. Yeah, so two models. According to accounting standard 12, both were allowed. Yeah, accounting standard 12 allowed this as well as this. When we came to Ind AS 20, this reduction from the asset was not allowed and only deferred income was allowed. But over a period of time, by the necessary changes that has been brought in, this is also allowed now. Meaning we can basically do reduction from the asset as well. Example, assume that I buy an asset for 1 crore rupees against which government has given me 10 lakh rupees grant. So what I used to do under accounting standard 12 was, both the options were available. Meaning 1 crore rupees asset, I will deduct the 10 lakh grant received from the government. I will record the asset in my books at 90 lakhs only. Or the second one, deferred income approach. I will record the asset in my books at 1 crore. That 10 lakh will not be reduced from the asset side, but it will be written on the liability side as a deferred income, or say what is a deferred government grant, and that will be transferred to my statement of profit or loss over the useful life of the asset in the proportion of the depreciation, that is in the pattern of the depreciation. What will happen? It will basically give the same impact. Now what would happen is, whenever I reduce from the cost of the asset value will go down, so the depreciation on the asset will go on decreasing every year. If I take our example, okay, asset is, okay, I'll write it in the new sheet, that will leave us with lot of clear picture. Yeah, assume that I buy an asset for 100 lakhs. Yeah, assume that the government grant is 10 lakhs. Yeah, let us go with useful life 10 years. Everything is 10. Okay, I'm keeping it very simple in this case. So there are two approaches, as I told you. The first approach, what I would do is, I would write balance sheet asset side. I'll write my asset. If you want, I can call it PPE. Can I call it PPE? Yes, I can. PPE. I'll write at 100. I'll subtract government grant 10 and write the asset at 90. You get that? So every year what will happen, in my P and L expense side, I will basically write 9 rupees as my expense. What is that? Depreciation. Yeah, every year it will be 99999 like that. Second approach, what will happen is, if I go to my balance sheet, on the asset side, I'll write my PPE as 100 and I'll write deferred government grant on the liability side 10. So what happens is, in my P&L there will be depreciation of 10 this time because it's on 100. Then this 90 is recognized as deferred income every year. So I'll write, this 10 rupees is recognized as deferred income in the pattern of depreciation. Depreciation is 10 every year. So this will become 1. What is this? Government grant recognized as income during the year. So what will happen next year? This will become 9 and this will become 99. So that goes on reducing. So at the end the impact is same. See here, 9 is the net impact of the asset. Here 10 expense, 1 income. So net impact will come down to be same. However, it was different earlier. Right now under Ind AS 20 also, what is happening? Reduction from the asset or expense as well as deferred income, both are allowed. So this is where we're going to end our today's session with regard to Ind AS 20, that is government grant. In the coming up session, we'll see what are the forms of government grant. can it be monetary, can it be non-monetary, government grant in the form of asset, government grant in the form of income, what can be the government grant related to loan, what do you mean by bailout, what do you mean by capital contribution, how do we account the same, what is the policy for returning the government grant if we fail to follow the conditions at a later stage. So all this is something that we're going to see in the next lecture regarding Ind AS 20. See you all in the next one. Till then, stay in the game.